Unlocking the power of your affirmations. What I've done is I've taken a handful of quotes from Louise Hay, Earl Nightingale, and Joseph Murphy, who have contributed a lot to my understanding of affirmations and the power that they have to reprogram your subconscious mind towards being in alignment with your vision. Many of you know that I'm a huge fan of the Robert Dilts logical levels of learning model. So I'm going to put a link in the description. If you haven't watched that video that I've done on it, I recommend that you do so. And the top two layers of the Robert Dilts model is vision, and then you have identity. Identity really refers to your self-image, how you believe reality to work. Internally, your self-image creates reality. So in other words, if you want to create success in your life, but you have a hard time creating it, then one of the things we want to check is, are we in alignment with our self-image and the vision of success? Now, it's my opinion that the vision actually is your true identity. See, we're born into this world and we learn various things through different stimulus that we get from our five senses, and we give meaning to the stimulus, and then it forms our identity. We begin to believe that we are a certain way. And then people put us in categories, and we might even assume those categories to be who we are, even if we don't necessarily like those categories, or maybe we might like those categories. But over a period of time, we form an identity, and we believe we are a certain way. Most of us, through that identity, is going to be a net result of programming from our experiences since birth, until we have done some work on ourselves and really tapped into who we really are at a deep level, our soul's desire, or I believe our true vision. It's hard to differentiate if what we see in the external world is really what we want to see. Now, what I mean by this is that as you go through this journey of raising up your consciousness, you begin to identify various things in your life that you realize that you don't resonate with anymore. Maybe you did at one period of time, but now it just doesn't seem like something you resonate with. And then when you reflect back on whatever it is, the people, the environment, and circumstance in your life, you start to reference it back to meaning and stories that you've attached to whatever it is about your identity that has reflected in the external world, in the people, environment, and circumstance, to reveal what is in your identity, which is your self-image. And then you ask yourself, where did this come from? Because it doesn't really resonate with how you really feel you are. And then you start to identify that it came from various circumstances and experiences in your past, stimulus through your five senses in which you've associated meaning to it. Then you begin to ask the question, who am I really? And then you start to discover the things that you're truly passionate about, things that bring you the greatest joy. It is in my opinion that I believe that each person on this planet has a specific vision, who they really are, and a lot of times it's not in alignment with the identity that was formed throughout their life. And until they go through a stage where they remove that false identity and identify with who they really are, which is their vision, they tend to have a life where they don't experience a lot of fulfillment and flow and joy and passion. And they'll also experience a lot of disharmony in their people, environment, and circumstance in their life. So I believe that it's our purpose to connect to our vision, to identify who we are, and then from there, reprogram our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is constantly projecting outwards to create reality, and make the subconscious mind programming in alignment with that vision. So our true identity is our vision. So the vision in the Robert Dilts model is our identity. Now, a few things I want to talk about is the identity. Number one is your self-image. So a couple of discussions that I recommend that you refer to in complements to this video is a discussion I did on the power of the subconscious mind by Joseph Murphy, which I'll link in the description, as well as what to say when you talk to yourself, as well as the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden, as well as You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And actually, we're going to start by a discussion from some quotes from Louise Hay, because what we really want to do is identify why we have created this self-image, how it was created a lot of times unknowingly, And how can we use the power of affirmations to align our self-image over to our true vision? So the very first thing we want to do is include in our affirmations a statement like this. I realize more and more each day that I'm able to identify who I really am based on my vision. I honor the feelings and emotions that come up, and I ask the question, what do they mean? What do they reveal to me about myself? I look for the answers within because I realize that all the answers are from within. And I reflect outwards and I experience the mentors, the information coming to me to reveal to me about myself. As a result of this, I'm able to identify clearly what is me that is identified with my current identity and what is not me, and I'm able to reprogram my subconscious mind to be in alignment with my identity. I also realize that I have a vision and I have a purpose, and through this process, I discover my purpose more and more each day. Now, as we go through this video, I'm going to give you a number of affirmations to help you, and I'm going to explain why I give those affirmations. So we realize that we have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the superconscious. So I believe we are all connected, and we have access to the superconscious mind via our subconscious mind. And when we cleanse our subconscious mind from fears, what happens is we establish our connection to the superconscious mind, which has the vision, which can be revealed to us in our imagination. And then by focusing on that vision through our affirmations, we reprogram our subconscious mind to bring it forth. And that's to, at that point, live a purposeful life. So Louise Hay says, when we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. So we're talking about here a deep level of unconditional love to yourself. If you have a deep unconditional love for yourself and you keep evolving this love for yourself, what you'll notice is that it'll be reflected out in the external world by people giving love towards you, because the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. And through past experiences, the identity might have been formed through lack of self-love or shame or different kinds of experiences that you've had in your life that has caused you to not love and appreciate yourself as much. Now, in the beginning of this journey, it can be really hard to look yourself in the mirror and really say, I love myself. So I recommend doing some affirmations like this. Every day, I realize that the external world is a reflection of who I am. And what I want to experience in the external world is love. And I realize that by experiencing it within, it will be projected outwards and materialize in form by people, environment, and circumstance to reveal the love that I have for myself. And thus, I love myself and increase my self-worth and self-esteem each day by listening to myself, honoring myself, and recognizing that I am here for a purpose and a vision. I'm able to uncover that purpose and vision, and I'm able to express that. And as I express my vision, I have a deeper love for myself. Now, if you do an affirmation like this in the morning, and I recommend when you do your affirmations that you emotionalize and visualize them, and you want to do it, as Neville Goddard says, in a state akin to sleep. So it's when you're just about to fall asleep or you're more in like a drowsy state. And I created a whole program on reprogramming your subconscious mind. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description. But the bottom line is this. Your subconscious mind is impressed by affirmations and information that you take in that you can emotionalize and visualize with absolute faith and conviction. So as I say these affirmations to you, it's important to internalize them with faith. If you do this for a number of days, what you'll find is you'll start to believe it more and more, and your self-image will change. You see, this is how your self-image was formed in the first place. You had all these different people that gave you stimulus telling you who you are, and you may have believed it or you might not have believed it, but the things that you have believed have formed your identity. Even experiences that you've had, you might given yourself meaning to it, of those experiences relating to your core identity, your self-image, and then that meaning that you gave to it further instilled what maybe others have programmed in you or you have programmed in yourself. And that self-image might not be in alignment with vision. So we've created a couple affirmations here, one to connect with your vision and find your true self, who you really are, which is possible to find, and I have found this in myself on the journey, and I know many others who have found it as well by going through a process like this, and then learn to love, honor, and appreciate that self and have that self express. And what you'll notice is as it expresses in the external world, people will reflect that to you. So an affirmation you can use for that is, I realize that as I express myself, I am well received. And each person that I express to reveals to me the congruence and fidelity of my expression. If I project doubt and fear, it will materialize in the external world by people reflecting to me the fear and doubt that is within. And then from there, I'm able to note this information down and evolve my image surrounding fears and doubts and indecision. Loving and approving of yourself, creating a space of safety, trusting and deserving and accepting will create organization in your mind. People who love themselves and their bodies neither abuse themselves nor others. So with Louise Hay, one of her biggest elements of her philosophy is that everything in your life comes down to how much you love and accept of yourself. So by loving yourself and accepting yourself, you create a space where you feel safe and that energy is projected outwards. And as a result of that, people receive you this way. What you'll notice is that if you navigate reality from a place of trust, faith, love, and appreciation, you will attract people that will gravitate towards you or that will receive you with that energy. Now think about a time in your life where you have experienced maybe some hardship and some negativity and you maybe felt resentful towards the world. Did you notice that the people were reflecting that back to you? And it was a time where maybe you needed people to be there for you, but for some reason they just weren't there. Well, it's what you're putting out that is reflected back to you. Now think about a time in your life where you were very joyous and happy and you have a lot of energy and a lot of abundance, and people are reflecting that to you. Perhaps they want to be around you, they compliment you, they reflect to you what you are really feeling inside, which is the approval and acceptance within. See, I believe that all the happiness and all the love is found within. Whenever we look to the external world for happiness and love, what we're really saying is we don't have it within, and we're projecting out lack of energy. And what's reflected back to us is people showing us the lack energy, so you don't end up getting it. And when you project out love energy, and it's an unconditional love energy, it automatically is what you receive because the external world is a reflection of what is within. So a good affirmation for this is, I have a deeper love and appreciation for myself. I approve of myself. People approve of me. My approval on myself and who I am is unconditional. And as a result of my unconditionalness, I live a happy, fulfilling, and loving life. And it is reflected back to me because the outer world is a reflection of who I am, which is a being that expresses the superconscious. I realize that this ability is cultivated through a deeper appreciation and understanding of myself. I forgive myself and I accept myself. And as a result of this, I appreciate and allow the energy to express from me. Everything as far as love and happiness is found within me. I realize this more and more each day in the various experiences that I have. And each experience that I have each day grows and develops a greater and higher degree and love for me, which is projected outwards and materialized into form. All the happiness, all the joy, and all the best of everything is found where I am right now. It is always found where I am right now, and it will always be found where I am right now. And thus, as a result of that, I express what I feel, which is the ultimate abundance, happiness, and joy that comes from within. Through this process, I realize deeper and deeper each day that the happiness is within and it's an infinite supply, and I feel it more and more each day. Now, what happens as a result of embracing these kinds of affirmations? What you're really doing is unlocking the potentiality and the ability to work with your subconscious mind. See, we have our conscious mind, we have our subconscious mind, and we have the superconscious mind. So I believe we're all connected via the superconscious mind. This is the divine imagination or the cosmic consciousness, or there's a lot of names for it. But the bottom line is this, is that you have access to everything within you. All the answers are within you. And everything within you is reflected in the external world. All the power is within you. Now, when you start to heal the internal conflict that was going on, again, from past programming, you have a better relationship with the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the superconscious. So what you then realize is that now, because you honor yourself, because you love and respect yourself to a higher degree, you will guard and protect your subconscious mind from any kind of information that is negative from going in, whereas before maybe you didn't really realize it. So a good way to unlock the power of your affirmations is to make an affirmation about that and reflect upon it. Say, I realize the power of my subconscious mind. I also realize that most of reality is a projection of what's in my subconscious mind. So as a result of it, I nurture, guard, protect, and develop my relationship with my subconscious mind by consciously choosing thoughts, people, environment, and circumstances that nurture and uplift me so that that information can be impressed on my subconscious mind and further expressed outwards and materialized into form. And then what is expressed outwards will automatically go back into my subconscious mind and repeat the process over and over again. I have such awareness to a higher degree than ever before that I'm able to detect well in advance if any information is coming into my subconscious mind that is not desirable. I choose to be around information that is desirable, and as a result of that, I find myself automatically in the presence of people, environment, circumstance, and information that is desirable. Now, when you do these affirmations and you follow the process of saying them every day, and I recommend recording it in audio and playing it to yourself over and over again in a state akin to sleep, what you'll notice is your reality will start to shift. You'll notice that more of people, environment, and circumstance, maybe a little bit at a time, or maybe even radically so, will start to alter and mirror back what's within you. And then you can create an affirmation to further lock the power of the affirmations by saying, every day I realize more and more the power of the affirmations. I notice that every time I do an affirmation, I honor that affirmation, it is reflected to me with absolute precision in the external world. And as a result of what is reflected in the external world, I have proof that these affirmations work. And by honoring this proof, I understand and unlock my access and power to my own subconscious mind, and I have the ability to go into my subconscious mind and change it accordingly. And the more I nurture and protect and guard and uplift my subconscious mind, the better of a relationship I build with my subconscious mind, and the greater I have as far as ability to write affirmations to reprogram my subconscious mind. My subconscious mind is constantly materializing in reality what is within, and based on what is expressed from the subconscious mind into reality, I take this information and adjust my programming in my subconscious mind to either bring more of what I want into reality, or if something is in my reality that I do not desire, I'm able to quickly identify the exact way of reprogramming my subconscious mind. The words, the inspiration come to me from my subconscious, and I express written affirmations that are so specific, designed to reprogram my subconscious mind. And I'm also in a deep connection and an ever-realizing connection with the superconscious mind, which is the source of all information. So at times, the superconscious mind is expressed through my subconscious mind and materialized into words and actions and different ideas for ways of reprogramming my subconscious mind by making the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious mind all in alignment. So another thing we want to keep into consideration is that what is really breaking the connection between the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the superconscious mind? Well, what I've realized is that it's fear. So the more I begin to remove fear-based programming in my subconscious mind, the greater access I have in my ability to reprogram my subconscious mind. And the greater ability I have to come up with even more greater elements that were part of my vision that I didn't access before, simply because I had fears, and those fears were blocking me to access those elements of my vision, which is mine to manifest. But by removing the fears, I now realize that I have a greater and greater purpose. And as I continue down this journey, and if some of you know my story, I started this journey back in 2004, really from Think and Grow Rich, to get out of $50,000 debt in the beginning. I began to work on my subconscious mind. As I continue in this journey, I'm able to create more and more success in multiple areas of my life and uncover more and more so my vision. And I believe that this power is available to everybody by following this information that I'm talking about right here. So Earl Nightingale says, above all, don't worry. Worry brings fear, and fear is crippling. The only thing that can cause you to worry during your test is trying to do it all yourself. Know that all you have to do is hold your goal before you. Everything else will take care of itself. Now, what is he talking about here? Well, this is a quote that I pulled from one of my favorite audios that I use to reprogram my subconscious mind, which is an affirmation audio. It's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And it was one of his first programs that really catapulted him to success. And in this audio program, which is just 15, 30 minutes, contained within it is this pure message that is an affirmation and a deep realization-based content that's dimensionalized in such a way that it infuses itself deeper and deeper the more you listen to it. And I've been listening to it over and over again since 2006 or 7. And I can honestly say that as a result of it, most of my beliefs have been shaped by listening to this over and over again. So that stated, when you find a compelling piece of information, something that you can either record yourself or something like The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, and you listen to it over and over again, affirming that information, it will program the subconscious mind so deep that your entire reality will reshape itself to mirror it accordingly. Now I could take an audio program like The Strangest Secret, and I can break it apart and see how my external world is the exact reflection of the repetition that I've been consuming that information. And so one of the things he says in there, it says, don't worry. Worry brings fear. Now, fear, as you are going through this process, and for him, it's in his journey, the 30-day test, essentially what it is, where you write on your card, and I still follow this process, your definite chief aim, and you make it the priority, and you keep it in your mind, and you hold on to this card wherever you go, and anytime you experience any type of fears, you take the card out of your pocket and you read it, and it could be an affirmation like, I create $400,000 worth of value for my clients, and as a result of it, I receive $100,000 in various lump sum payments based on the direct proportion of service, because I realize that all the money that I earn is going to be a net result of creating products and services that are needed and useful, and thus I put out way more than I ask for in return. And as the law of compensation states, you will always return what you put out. So by reading that to yourself over and over again, if there's any kinds of fears and doubts that show up, it's probably because of programming that you have in your subconscious mind from your past or information that you're consuming. You are to pick that card up and read it again with faith. So another thing that I can give to you to help contribute to that is this affirmation. You can say, I understand that everything in my reality is contributing to the manifestation or the bringing forth of my vision. When I create a definite chief aim, everything I do, who I do it for, and all of reality conforms to make it so. The reason why this is the case is because I operate in the spirit of harmony. I bring good and I receive good. This is how I would like the good to be received, and it is absolute law based on correspondence that what you put out comes back to you. It is stated, it has been proven, and I have experienced this many times in my life, and I continue to experience it with everything I do. And as a result of it, I have more and more faith that the service that I render and the things that I do, that I put out, which are from a place of value, will be received and received well because people are looking for it, and I create what is needed and useful. So I know with absolute fact, and it is proven that it is needed and useful, and by giving and providing the value, I will receive the compensation accordingly. Now, if you couple the 30-day test, as Earl Nightingale puts it, with this affirmation I gave you, then you're unlocking that power of the affirmation that you are doing with your Definite Chief Aim card. See, think about it from this perspective. When you put out an affirmation, you say, I want to create X amount of success in my life. If fears and doubts come up surrounding that, you can create another affirmation for that. And what you have to do is, as you navigate reality, start to see the proof of how your reality is changing. And if there's any persistence in the external world where it's not changing, you can change that within. Now, if you have a hard time believing this, you can create an affirmation that says something like this: I have absolute faith and absolute proof, and I can find with ease countless studies, countless information, countless success stories of those that have worked with their subconscious mind to materialize their dreams. And I have access to these stories and this information as proof, knowing that it does exist. And as a result of receiving this proof, I am convinced even more and more each day. As I feel more faith towards the power of programming the subconscious mind, I embrace affirmations as a way to do it. And as I do it, I get more and more information brought to my awareness on how to do it better. And this continues till I'm able to use the affirmations to reprogram my subconscious mind to materialize that what I want. And Earl Nightingale also says, think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye as if already achieving this goal. See yourself doing the things that you will be doing, that you will have to do, or it says will be doing when you have reached your goal. So this is also what Neville Goddard talks about when he says, you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you picture in your mind's eye, in your imagination, of doing the act that you would do after you have received that what you want or accomplished the success that you want. And Earl Nightingale says, do it in a relaxed, positive way. Because as mentioned earlier, what you put out is brought back to you. So if it's abundance that you desire, but you're forcing abundance, then what you're doing is you're pushing it away by putting out forceful energy. And it will be reflected in how you carry yourself when you're doing your business or working in your career. As soon as you start forcing your energy onto people, you're diminishing your chances of creating the kind of success that you want. The goal of creating products or services is also to get it in the hands of those that will be interested in your products or services. So by bringing a forceful energy, you're actually kind of pushing them away. When you show up to make the offer to them and you're off-putting and you don't have the personality cultivated within you that is making it about them and bringing value to them, they'll immediately not want to do business with you. So a good affirmation that you could do if you come across stuff like that is, I realize that the energy that I put out is reflected back to me. So with everything I do, I carry myself with a calm, confident energy. And as a result of presenting myself with the calm and confident energy, I automatically find myself in front of those that receive my energy from a calm and collected way, and they are the exact people that are looking to do business with me. And as a result, I present, and if for some reason they do not accept, I reflect back and understand how I can make it better, and I find ways to create the result. Perhaps I will find another client, or perhaps I will find another opportunity. But the materialization of my end result will be so because I carry myself from a place of calm and absolute faith that is with a lighthearted, relaxed, energetic state. And that is projected outwards from me and is received by the external world in that energy and is reflected back to me in a harmonious way. So Dr. Joseph Murphy says, he never uses terms like, I can't afford it, or I can't do this. Your subconscious mind takes you at your word and sees it that you do not have the money or the ability to do what you want to do. Affirm, I can do all things through the power of my subconscious mind. See, one of the things we have done in our lives is we've made stories up based on our beliefs on how reality works. And what we can do as a result of these affirmations that we have in our subconscious mind that we didn't necessarily program in from a place of abundance is believe that reality is this harsh, negative place that is against you. And if you believe that is the way it is, you'll find countless proof of how it is. So you can take inventory of the different things that you say to different people and look at your language patterns so that you can understand that this information that you are communicating to another person, the words that you're using, is a net result of what's programmed in your subconscious mind. Most of us, when we communicate, we say things, we don't realize the impact of what we are saying. So when you say you can't afford it, you can't do something, what is really being projected outwards is the expression of that, and that will be materialized and expressed as form. So what I'm getting at here is that there's a lot of affirmations that we do that we might not be consciously aware that we're doing them, and they are affirmations. When we talk about a circumstance from a negative way, when we talk about a person from a negative way, when we talk about ourselves in a negative way, we are affirming that into our subconscious mind. Now, what you really want to do is look from a place of what can be done. And so an affirmation for that is, in any circumstance that I come across, I am able to figure out the way to overcome it and understand how to resolve it and elevate myself to a higher level of communication and being. And I'm doing it in a way that I maintain my flow, and I have the ability to project outwards an excitement energy because I realize that everything is revealing to me about myself. Everything in the external world is revealing to me what is within myself. And so I appreciate, I understand, and I reflect. And as a result of the notes that I take from my reflection, I'm able to identify it within of how I am expressing it outwards to materialize in form. So everything in life is a learning and growth experience. As a result of everything in life being a fun and joyous learning and growth experience, I move forward in life with a sense of joy and passion, knowing that through this journey, I will materialize that what I desire. Now that I have the power to understand the power of my subconscious mind, the ability to go in and draw out exactly how to reprogram my subconscious mind, whatever shows up in the external world, I reflect upon and use that as information to create affirmations which are so clear and precise that I am able to use them to reprogram my subconscious mind. And as a result of these affirmations, I'm noticing more and more behavioral changes in my environment, in people and circumstance to reflect accordingly. And the more I do this, I realize that the universe is mental and everything is based on the power of my mind. And through the process, I'm able to rise to higher levels of skill with working with this power more and more each day. So he also says, imagination is your most powerful faculty. Imagine what is lovely and of good report. You are what you imagine yourself to be. So you are what you imagine yourself to be. One of the ways that we can unlock the power of affirmations is ask ourselves, how do we imagine ourselves to be? Are we able to hold in our mind the person that we really are? Even if the external world doesn't reflect it accordingly, knowing that by holding that image in our mind and by nurturing that image and doing and being and reflecting upon the information that is related to that and infusing our mind with information to stimulate our mind to recreate elements based on that vision, it will be so. Or when we hold this image in our mind of the ideal person, are we riddled with doubts, or do we have some doubts or fears or insecurities or uncertainties about that? It's important to write down what those doubts and insecurities or whatever it is that come up for you. Because if you kind of go back to what we said in the earlier part of the discussion, Everything comes from a place of how you see yourself, your self-image. And it's really what Louise Hay said, your ability to love yourself. If you love yourself, then you will accept yourself. And if you really love and accept yourself, then you will really love and accept who you really are, which is your vision. As mentioned, your vision is your identity. So again, if you get information that shows up that seems contrarian, or you can't feel that way about yourself totally related to that ideal imagination or who you really are, then note the reasons why you don't feel that way and create affirmations for that accordingly. Perhaps maybe one of your goals in life is to become an effective communicator. And this is the exact process that I did. What I used to do was imagine myself communicating to large audiences, and it became the reality. And if I ever felt any doubt surrounding that, I would note the doubts. So one of the things that I noticed that would happen is I could not imagine myself sounding as well as somebody else. So I created an affirmation like this. I have the ability to express superconscious through me. And as a result of my communication, I'm expressing superconscious, which is reflected out through me or projected out through me via the subconscious mind in the instrument that is me. And how I talk and how I express and my voice tonality is an instrument of the superconscious. And as I communicate with others each day, I am looking to identify within myself how to be more expressive from what's in the superconscious. And I'm able to identify any kinds of blockages that are within me that prevents the expression from flowing through me. I'm able to write these elements down and go to work on them and clear myself out of anything that prevents the expression of the superconscious. As a result of expressing superconscious, I am well received, and the information that I share is presented in a way where others understand. And this increases with every attempt I make in communication. And finally, it says here, if others criticize you and these faults are within you, rejoice, give thanks, and appreciate the comments. This gives you the opportunity to correct that particular fault. So this is how we can really unlock the power of affirmations. So understand something. When you create affirmations about your vision, it is in the process of manifesting. It will happen. And what's going to show up is stimulus in the external world to reveal to you about yourself, people, environment, and circumstance. And some of this might be received as criticism. Understand something. The people aren't criticizing you. What is being revealed is what is within you, how you respond to it, and how you feel about yourself. So if you end up getting anything that seems like harsh criticism, a good affirmation is this. I realize that people are free to express the way they want to express, and I'm happy that everybody is expressing to me. As a result of the expression, I'm able to identify clearly what it is that I want to integrate into who I am as my being. I also understand clearly what is related and what information is in direct correlation to my vision. I realize that my identity is my vision, and I have a deep connection with my vision. And as a result of any information that comes in, I'm able to know fully, absolute faith and confidence that is in alignment, or if it is not in alignment with my vision, then I understand and I accept they are expressing and they are also on the same journey as me. I give thanks, I rejoice, and I appreciate all information because I realize that everything is contributing towards my vision. If you want to copy this mind map, the link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.